The reason you're not improving has nothing to do with talent. I've seen people practice for years, not casually, seriously, same time every day, focused, trying to get better, and they still plateau, not because they're lazy, not because they lack discipline, because no one ever showed them that the way they practice is the problem. Before anything else, this needs to be said clearly. Talent is real. Some people pick things up faster. You've seen it. Someone hears a melody once and plays it back. Someone trains the same program and grows twice as fast. That difference exists. Ignoring it doesn't make you better. It just makes you confused. But talent only explains one thing, your upper limit. It does not explain how fast you improve. That part is almost entirely controlled by how you practice, not who you are, how you train. Most people never question this. They just repeat. They play the same song they can already mostly play. They speak the same sentences they're already comfortable with. They practice shots they've already made hundreds of times. It feels like work. The hours add up, but nothing really changes because the difficulty stopped increasing, even though the skill didn't. And this is the part most people get wrong. Your brain doesn't learn much when things go right. When you're operating inside what you already know, your brain is running patterns it has already built. It's efficient, but it's not improving. Relearning starts the moment you cross that line, where mistakes start happening. That uncomfortable zone is where the brain actually starts adjusting, correcting, and building new connections. Repetition inside comfort feels like practice. It's not. It's performance. There's consistent research across fields: music, sports, surgery, chess. The people who keep improving aren't the ones with the most hours. They're the ones spending time at the edge of what they can currently do, with clear feedback. Two people can put in 10 years. One improves every year. The other stays the same after year 3. The difference is not effort, it's structure. Now here's something most people misunderstand about training. Historically, some of the most effective systems made practice harder than the real situation. Old Japanese sword schools, ryuha, did this deliberately. Not for tradition, not for ritual, for a very specific reason. Students trained with heavier weapons than they would actually use. They were forced to deal with multiple attackers. Sometimes their best techniques were restricted during practice. Even visibility was reduced in certain drills. They weren't trying to simulate reality. They were making training worse than reality. So when real combat happened, it felt easier than what they were used to. Now compare that to how most people practice. You rehearse in controlled, comfortable conditions, and then expect to perform in something harder. That's backwards. If you're preparing for interviews, don't practice easy answers. Practice questions that throw you off. If you're learning a language, stop having conversations you can survive. Have ones where you're lost. If you're training for anything competitive, add constraints that make the normal situation feel simple. This is where speed comes from. Not talent, not motivation. Compression. 200 hours of difficult, targeted practice will take you further than 2,000 hours of comfortable repetition. But there's a catch. This kind of practice feels bad. You miss more. You fail more. You see your mistakes clearly. There's no illusion of progress, which is exactly why most people avoid it. They drift back to what feels productive. They think they're pushing. They're not. They've gone back to repeating what they already know. So here's something simple you can check immediately. Look at your last few practice sessions. How often were you actually failing? Not occasionally, consistently. If you were getting things right most of the time, the difficulty was too low. You should be getting it wrong often enough that you have to adjust, but not so often that you're completely lost. Roughly half. And you should know why you're getting it wrong. That's the zone where improvement actually happens. Now ask one more question. The way you practiced last week, was it harder than the real situation you're preparing for, or easier? That answer tells you everything.